This is video one of, it's going to be 3 videos over Taobao. Taobao is one of the ways to train in Chiao, one of the ways to work on the body and such. So I'm going to kind of explain a little bit about what I think Taobao do for the body and for the person, and how they fit into Chiao training. So I learned these from my Sifu John Wong, and from what I gather from him, he learned a portion of these from his Sifu, Master Chong, and then I don't know which other ones he learned from Master Chong's brother, his biological brother. My teacher went to mainland China and worked with him as well. So there's 13 of them. One of them, again, grinding smoothly. I made a video over cucumber vines and grinding smoothly, and how I detailed out that piece. When I do this set, I will do it with grinding smoothly, but I will also practice a headlock marching stance, right? So I can stretch my back, and my hands, my calves, and my neck, all of that. I'll do more than that when we get toward the end of them. So, from talking to my teacher, there's no real order these are in. Like with the forms or the belt cracking exercises, there's somewhat a generalized order that they go in. These don't. And through these videos, I'm going to try to put them together into similarity part, right? So this first set, there's 3 levels with 3 parallels, combined line stance, their heart staring at the moon, and swallow skimming the water. These are either my feet are together, or they're apart, or they're toe in, right? So they're all kind of flat. Now, like some of the other ones, they're all, the leg is up, right? Or some of the other ones, they're in, your body's in a bow stance, or an elongated stance, or you're lifting a leg. So, what do I think these are for? Me personally, I think they're to help you to improve your posture, your body's structure, right? The structure of your body. The better the integrity of the structure of the body, the more that you can withstand, and the more power and force that you can generate. The more stable it is, the body, like if I go to do a horizontal throw with leg lifting, if I go to do this move, okay, well, it's one thing if I can support me in this position, right? My mass, my body size, all of that. But can I seize a person and lift their body and support their body as I'm supporting my body in this position? Okay? So that's where I think a lot of people, if they would understand that these movements are, they have value in developing your structure, your stability, your we'll say range of motion, all of that stuff, in the connective tissue and the stabilizer muscles in the joints. So anyway, they're very, to me, they have a lot of value. I'm in my 50s, and I started Chiao in my early to mid 20s. Okay, and I personally feel if I didn't do these, and I didn't do the forms, and I didn't train some of the apparatus, and I didn't do the belt cracking stuff, I do other things. I'd be like Master Chong's Tai Chi and things like that. But if I didn't do these other things, it would be hard to maintain my body, right? I hope to be teaching Chiao into my, into my 60s, commercially. Like I'll be 55 this year, and I have to be able to pick up people and throw them, have people throw me down, and I have to maintain the body integrity in which to do that. I don't do, 100 throws at a shot now, but I could probably do that, but, my body would we need some recovery time. And that could happen to everybody. But anyway, my point being is I want to maintain me as long as I can so that I can do these movements. My teacher is 21 years older than me. And I recently went to visit him, and he's in his, in essence, he's in his mid-70s. And he still has his balance, he still has his structural stability, he still has the ability to apply force and power within the movements. I worked out with the man for a few hours going over some material that I needed some correction and some validation on. What I'm getting at is if he didn't train apparatus and he didn't work these kind of things, more than likely he wouldn't have the capacity to do those things. Mentally, yes, be able to still, explain it and coach it and things like that. But when you do something like Chiao, it's one thing sharing it and teaching with others, and I really like doing that. But I also want to do it myself. I want to do the kicks and the punches and the throws and the follow-on moves and all of that. And so it would be like anybody else in any other sporting activity. I do Tai Chi, and I've been doing Tai Chi since the early 90s as well. And a Tai Chi player, as they get older, I've seen men and women in their 80s, and even in maybe into the early 90s, right? And they can still do this stuff. That's great, but doing form work is wonderful. Keep your body healthy and all of that, but you get to be able to apply it. How does what I'm saying affect you if you're in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s and you're doing this? You want to maximize your body at whatever age it is. Meaning if you're 35, you want to have the best flexibility, the best strength. I'm not talking about having big muscles. I'm talking about you want to have you want to maximize the strength of your body, the speed that you can generate, the reaction skills, the balance, the mobility, all of that stuff. And just doing the application, in a lot of ways, it's not enough. You need to be able. It's just like, again, I use this as a sport. A baseball player. A baseball player doesn't get better or maintain himself just by playing the game. He lifts weights. He has a certain diet that he does. He has certain trainers. This is a strength and conditioning coach. This one here is happening with his coordination. All of these different things to maximize that player. And if you're doing something like Chiao, or you're doing something like, I don't care what it is, Wing Chun, karate, you need to see the value in the other things and put the effort into that if you really love doing what you're doing, so that you can maintain an ability to do it for a longer period of time. Okay? So that being said, the first form that I'm going to do, the first one is 3 levels. And like I said, you can do this in any order you want. I'm just breaking these down for the video based more on the similarity aspects, okay? But I put them together into a form myself. I smooth it out where I do this, and I do this, and I do that, and I move through it. Doing this cowbell, if you think of this like, almost like, I'm going to use yoga as a comparison. Like in yoga, you have asanas. An asana is like a posture, right? Like this, right? And when you combine several asanas together, you create a vinyasa. Okay. And like a very popular one is the sun salutation. So a lot of people that practice yoga in the mornings, they get up and they do this series of postures that are connected together to invigorate your body when they get up in the morning. If you think about this powwow like that, it can benefit you a lot, right? Keep the body limber, keep the body loose, keep the muscles. If you've done a hard workout, it keeps everything separated and moving smoothly, it lets the blood flow through the body well, it's good for you. But there are only 13 of them. You know, it won't take up that much of your time. Learning now, maybe a little bit. So again, the first one is 3 levels or 3 parallels. I'm going to do it both directions. So facing this way, a lot of people, when they do this, they will do this and try to avoid this. They push, see how I'm pushing into the knees to do it? Don't do it that way. Okay, you're putting all of this force behind the patella. Don't do that. So when you do it, you want to almost like you want to sit on something. The hard part of this is because the knees are together. But look, when I go back, right, I want to go back like this. So that the knees, I'm not forcing into the knee, right? So as I sit back. And I want to try my best to get to a point where this is flat, right? The feet are flat. And then look, the elbows, don't do this, right? Keep them bent, the elbows and the hands. And look, I'm not fighting this, right? You can contract it, okay? But don't lock these, okay? Don't do it like this. Keep this like this, right? So think of your body like a crane, right? Like, I'm not talking about like a crane, like a bird, like a crane, right? And these cables pull in and these cables go out to extend these things. And keep the aspect of it loose, right? If I do it from the front, when the arms come up, look, I keep them like this, and then don't let them roll out, but let this tip of the bone here, like they're pulling in like this. You see? Looks like this. You don't need to do it like this. You lock this out. Don't do that. This is better. Now you can do these with bricks or like shots like that, or like running hand weights. I'm going to do another video over that stuff in general to make an explanation of it later. But so again, I'm here, and the arms are going to come up. Think about the connection of this with the core, and I'm going to sit on the butt. I'm not going to push into the knees. And my goal, see, I want to keep my knees together. I pull these in like this, and I'm going to set onto my butt, right? I don't want my knees to go past my toes, and I want my thighs flat with the ground. You know, my feet are flat, and my arms are flat, like this, right? That doesn't mean they're locked like this. Like this, and then look, I can pull in with the elbow a little bit. Okay? The next one is combined line stance. So I'm going to be like in the width of a horse stance. Okay? And then I'm going to turn my feet in like this. Okay? Be the same like if I was going to use my foot for hooking something, right? Either hooking to strike or hooking to pick something up, right? Like this. And look, I've seen people do it like this, okay? Be out here like that. And don't think of it like you're trying to flex your biceps, okay? I'm going to pull this in enough to give me a little tautness here, but I'm trying to put this elbow with my hip, or with my core, right? So I'm pushing my knees in together, and I'm squeezing in the hip, and I'm pulling in here. Now, don't do this. You see like I'm doing with my rotator cuff? Don't do that because you'll put all this force into the back of the rotator cuff. Sometimes you'll even strain the connective tissue and the muscles. Don't do that. It's this way. See, like it is. Like this is coming down this way. Don't do like that. You'll end up potentially hurting yourself, okay? So turn in like this, and then I like to breathe out when I do this. So if I took an inhalation and an exhale, and I'm in my mind, I'm pushing my hip down and squeezing everything together, right? Even my lower foot, I'm thinking about opening up the ankle, the knee, and the hip. And I'm pulling down, I'm pulling my upper body down. Okay? I do it from this side, like this. Like I said, it's like a breathe in and then breathe out. Don't let your butt stick out. Make sure you keep trying to keep your hip under you so you don't lock it forward or lock it back. So it's loose, hips loose, knees are loose, ankles are loose, shoulders are loose, and sink. Now you can hold these in a static position or come back and then exhale, inhale, exhale. You know, do a set of 3 or 5 or whatever you wish, 10. It's not going to take that long anyway. But hold the static position, or you can move it, just like with this 3 parallels. I can be here, and, right? And then inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, like that. The next one is air high. Staring at the moon. Okay. So my feet are going to be, you can do as wide as your shoulders, or maybe 1.5 times as wide, but you don't need a big wide base like this. Okay. It's working the abdominals up the front and the lumbar, right? In the way I do my head, it's going to stretch all of this, right? It's going to loosen up all of this from here down to my ankles. So if I'm like this, feet are coming to the front, and my hands are going to be like this. Now, some people like to try to bend the back, and they like from here, and they don't move this. Okay. Me personally, I feel that is a wrong approach because then I don't really let the muscles do the work. I'm putting the load in the spine, and then I'm bending the spine. So from here, when I do this, I want to bend my knees, and look, I'm going to keep this alignment, right? See, all of this lines up, and I'm like this, right? What makes this difficult is not this part. What makes it difficult is tucking the chin to your chest. When you do that, it starts to stretch the back of the neck, and all of this is connected, right, from here all the way down. So when I get here and I go to bend this in, right, you'll feel your abdominals will want to contract and the lumbar, and just do your best to try to keep this in alignment. Don't do like this, and then not use the knees for the bend in like this, and roll back. And again, I can do it as a continuous action, right? Breathe in. And again, I want to keep this as straight as I can. I'm working on my stability, right, of my body. I'm working the core of my abdominals in the front, the lumbar in the back, and of course, yeah, the obliques and stuff like that, but you're going to feel it mostly in the abdominals and the back. You do it like this. If you don't bend the knees and you just try to do this, you're just going to feel it in the spine. You don't want to do that. And then swallow skinny the water. Again, I put these 4 together not because they're in that order, but these are all like flat-footed pieces. And you're this way. You went from you're here, you're here, and you're here like that. Okay. So this one, you will see people do the hands this way or the hands this way. I do it both ways, and because I feel that one way I can feel it more in my upper chest, and one way I can feel it more, in my pectoralis minor, and the other way I can feel it more in my traps. But just like with the other piece, right, the line stance, you don't want to do this with the rotator cuffs, right? With this piece, whether you're doing it this way or you're doing it this way, don't try to pinch the rotator cuffs, right? I want to make it about the upper chest and back, right? So if I was doing it like this, look, it's more about this expansion, like I'm stretching the pec muscles, right? Like this action, right? And I'm working the lower core. If I turn the hands this way, right? Again, I don't want to think about forcing the arm. I want the arm to get to a certain point, and then I want to think about, if this was my spine, about moving my scapulas like this, right? Like this. And then look, I want to flex those, but I don't want to do this, okay? Put too much load into the supporting muscles and connective tissue in the rotator cuffs, right? Get to here, and then bend in, right? Like this, and then look. Flex the chest and these muscles, okay? So, I'm like this, and then the other part of this is lifting the head up. So as I go down, if you've watched my other videos, I'm talking about don't create this big hole, right? Don't do stuff like that. But pinch the upper and the lower part of the core together, right? So that you can try to take the torso and put it on the thighs, right? So if I come through, I bend this part first, and look, I'm going to look down. I'm looking here first, right? You'll see the people do it and they look up, which is cool. I get my arms here, I'm flat, and then look, I'm going to push my butt down to lift my head up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right. So I'm flat, like this, and then push the butt down even more and raise the head. Right? Don't just raise the head, because then you pinch the neck and it's doing nothing for the hips. Right? When I get in this position and then I push the butt down, you'll feel the stretch in here around the femurs, right? You're going to feel it in the muscles, the connection to the muscles up here at the top, right? And also, it's going to stretch the back and the supporting part of the core. So again, I'm here when I do it, and I come like this, and again, I bend from here first, so I don't create the big hole. I get really flat, and then I push my butt down more, and I raise my head up, right? So whether the arms are like this, or they're like this, right? Do it from the front, bend, push the butt down, and look up, and pull the arms back to a certain point, and then squeeze together, right? If I do it this way, I'm like this, right? And then open the chest, So, and again, you can do that as a flowing piece too. Here, breathe out. And do it again. Like that. They're very good exercises. People go to a yoga class to do something just like that. But if you clear the mind when you're doing it, you focus on the breathing, you let the body relax, your mobility, your range of motion will increase, you'll strengthen the connective tissue to stabilize your muscles around the joints. And again, there's 13 of these, and they're very demanding. They're not easy. And just briefly, the reason to use the weights is to, in effect, somewhat destabilize you so that when you're doing the piece, you have to work at it harder. I don't recommend doing weights at first. Learn all 13, and once you learn them, and you've got a routine, whether you do them static or you do them with movement, and you feel good with that, then add you some weight. So anyway, I hope you like it, and like I said, at least 2 more videos over these. There's 13, so that's 4. The next one.